Welcome to this quick PM flow, which is for the head, the hands, and the neck. I'll get a little shoulder action in there as well. This is not going to be a traditional flow, but this is something that I do for myself when stress builds up. So truth be told, this doesn't have to be done in the evening. It can be done at any time where you're feeling a little bit of stress and tension through the jaw, through the neck, through the hands. Maybe it's the computer, maybe it's just that life is messy. Whatever it is, this will help you get a few moments of release. No props are needed for this, so get yourself comfy in a seated position and we'll get started. Okay, now that you're seated and comfy, we're going to start with the hands. Why? The hands and the feet collectively hold the most fascia, connective tissue, in the body. And when we release the hands, the benefit is that it releases everything going upwards towards the arms, the shoulders, the neck, and the head. Yeah? Let's start with the dominant hand. So bring that hand in front of you, palm turned away from you. Take the other hand and gently pull the fingers back. Now, we don't want the elbow to necessarily pop out, so it's hyperextended, but we want to focus on a stretch through the fingers, the palm of the hand, and you may feel it actually all the way up to the bicep, depending on your body. And we're not looking for a deep intensity here, just a nice, gentle stretch. It should feel like, when you separate Velcro, there's a little bit of tension there. That's the kind of tension that we want through the hand and the arm. Just nice, calm, easy breaths. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed down from your ears. If they're up by your ears, it defeats the purpose. You know what I mean? But just let them relax. One more full breath. And then gently release the fingers. Give it a moment. And we're going to move to the thumb. So the non-dominant hand is underneath. You're going to reach around and gently grab the thumb and pull it and separate it from the other fingers. Now you can play with the positioning of the wrist. Try to let it be as natural as possible. 2 more breaths. Gently let it release. Just let your hands be for a moment. Notice any sensation that's going through that hand or the arm. And then gently wiggle that hand. Just a little bit of light movement. I'll move to the other side. So the non-dominant hand now comes out, palm forward, and gently pull the fingers back. Deep breaths are always welcome whenever you need them. They are actually a stress relief. When you inhale and take that nice deep breath, you're bringing more oxygen into your body and into your mind. And that's a signal to your brain that everything is okay. One more breath with the fingers. And now let's gently release that down. Give it a moment. We'll let the feels happen. And we switch to the thumb. So the dominant hand comes underneath. Gently pull the thumb back. Two more breaths. And gently release. Just let the hands rest on the thighs, palms up for a few breaths. And very gently wiggle around, move that hand, slow movements. So what we do in one direction with the hands and the wrist, we want to do in the other direction. So we're going to take the dominant hand, go back to that hand, and I want you to make kind of like a Muppet hand. So the thumb is more or less between the middle and the ring finger. Then point those fingers down. Arm is relatively straight, and gently pull the fingers and the hand back. So now you're getting a nice stretch through the top of the hand, the top of the wrist, forearm, and possibly all the way up to the shoulder, depending on your body. This does not have to be intense. It could be a nice light tension that's happening through the hand, wrist, and arm. Any pain, then stop. We don't want to move into pain. One more breath here. Very gently release. You can use your non-dominant hand to support. Bring it down to the thigh. Just let the hands rest palm down for a few moments. Feel that rush of energy now that we released it. All right, let's move to the other side. So now your non-dominant hand, the thumb comes between the ring finger and the middle finger. Point those fingertips down. Other hand gently pulls down and back. One more breath. Very slowly and mindfully release those hands. Bring the palms of the hands down onto the thighs and enjoy that sensation. Sweet release of the wrists and the hands. Moving upward from here to get to the neck to make sure that all that fascia is released. We're going to work on the shoulders a little bit. So take one arm, you're going to cross it over the chest. Palm faces the back of your space. This allows for a nice stretch through the deltoid and the top of the shoulder. From here, let's bring it up and over for a nice traditional tricep stretch. Be mindful that the head doesn't drop forward. Try to keep it lifted upright. And settle back into your pelvis. I just caught myself doing this. Sometimes we arch in the pelvis. We think it creates more space, but all it really does is bring more tension to the lower back. So relax your pelvis and your low back. Good. Gently release and switch to the other side. Getting the nice deltoid stretch, sweeping the arm across the chest. And take that arm up and over for our tricep stretch. And gently release. Now from here, I'm going to take the arms behind. Now depending on the openness of your shoulders, you can either hold the back of your chair and just scoot your tush forward and get a nice chest opener here. Or if you have a little bit more mobility in those shoulders, interlace the fingers and bring them behind you and then lift the chest. From here, as long as it's healthy and it feels good for you, you can gently lift the chin to get more stretch through the throat and the front of the neck. Be mindful not to crunch the cervical spine. You don't want your head to drop behind you. It not only makes it difficult to breathe, but doesn't feel so nice. It crunches those vertebrae. And that's not what we want. We want more length and more space. Good. From here, bring it back to neutral, gently release. Well, from here, we're going to move into a side bend. So make sure that your feet are nice and flat and secure on the ground. So if you need to adjust where your tush is in the chair, then do that first. Then either find your forearm on the arm of the chair or palm of the hand on the thigh. You can even use your whole forearm on the thigh if you need to. Sit up nice and tall and then exhale, side bend. Take your right arm, sweep it over the ear, and you can turn your head down here. Now be careful of this supporting shoulder. We don't want to let it sneak up to the ear or the jaw. We want it to be energized and creating, of course, what? Space. We always want space there. Now from here, let's take this top arm and bind it behind the back. It doesn't matter how far it goes, just bring that hand behind you. And on your inhale, we're going to gently roll the head and look on the upward diagonal. As you exhale, roll it back down and look towards your bottom shoulder. Inhale, rotate the head and look upward. Exhale, rotate and look it down. 2 more times. Not trying to push. We're just giving a nice, gentle rotation here. You may feel a little bit of stretch here, especially when you look downward. If you get dizzy at any point, just gently stop what you're doing and come back up to vertical. Once you've finished that last rotation of the head, bring it back to neutral. Release the arm, sweep it back up over the ear, and we're going to use this arm to help us back to vertical. As you exhale, come back up to vertical. Switching to the other side, Get that right arm secure on either the chair or your leg. Lengthen through the spine and then exhale, side bend. From here, take the left arm, sweep it up and over the ear. Always being mindful of that supportive shoulder. From here, take that top arm, bring it behind the back. On your inhale, rotate the head so you're looking on the upward diagonal. As you exhale, gently roll the head down so you're looking towards the bottom shoulder. Inhale, rotating, looking on the upward diagonal. And then exhaling, going through neutral, looking down. Let's go 2 more times. Once you finish that last round, bring yourself back to a neutral head so you're looking straight ahead. Release the arm that's in the bind, bring it up and over the head. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale. Use that arm to get you back up to vertical. Now your hands and arms can rest wherever you like. Just take a gentle rotation of the head from right to left. How does it feel? Does it feel a little bit more open? Do you feel like you have more space? Does it feel a little bit more relaxed? Does it hurt more? That's a possibility. How does it feel down the back of the neck? Down the spine? Just a simple observation so that you know what works and doesn't work for you. Good. Gently bring it back to center. I will do one more thing for the back of the neck, stretch-wise. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. Sitting up nice and tall through the spine. Now, if you're in a chair and you're sticking your tail out behind you, this is not going to work for this next stretch. You want to make sure that your shoulders are stacked directly over the hips. So if you need to move yourself on your chair so that you feel that way, then do that. Feet are flat on the ground. Take your hands, you're going to interlace them behind your head, elbows out. Be careful that you're not popping the ribs out. Keep them nice and pulled together in front of you. From here, you're going to close the elbows, so you're squeezing your head. Take a nice inhale through the spine. As you exhale, you're going to roll down, gently tucking the chin to the chest. And as you do so, you're going to start to feel a stretch down what's called the erector spinae. It's 2 muscles that flank the spine, from the skull all the way down to your pelvis. So everyone here is going to have a little bit different mobility. Only roll down to where you can handle the intensity. We don't want to go too quick, too hard. This is a very deep muscle, and sometimes it can give you strange sensations. If that happens to you, then just ease up a little bit. And make sure that you can breathe here. To release this, we're going to just gently release the hands first. Then slowly and mindfully, as you inhale, roll up to vertical. Exhale where you need to. And let's take a little bit of a twist here. So take a nice inhale and then exhale. Look around over your right shoulder. And inhale, come back through center. Exhale, twist and look over the left. Let's go one more time each side. Inhale through center. Exhale, gently twist to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist to the left. And then inhale, come back through center. Now we're going to work a little bit more with the head itself. So the scalp, the face, and actually working the neck. So if you have your hair up, gently take it out so it's released. If you have short hair, then you're already there. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take the hands onto the scalp. So you're just going to take a nice massage. Just rub it out. Now there is fascia up here too. There's a lot of connective tissue, and believe it or not, sometimes this fascia relates to headaches, sometimes through the eyes and underneath on the cheeks and the face. I dare say I found a spot on the top of my head and I felt it in my teeth. How crazy is that? But it does happen sometimes. So now if you have some hair to hold on to, go ahead and grab it and give a slight pull upwards. Now this is a little bit strange, I'm going to admit that, and this actually comes from the very first yoga book that I ever received when I was in middle school, I think. And this actually does help relieve tension, and it actually relieves headaches a little bit. So you're going to pull the hair up, and we're going to give little shifts forward and back. This may make my face look a little funny, but you want to do little shifts so that you're up and you're pulling forward and back, forward and back. If you don't have hair long enough to be able to grab on, just take your fingertips, press into your scalp, and you can move your scalp forward and back so you get a little bit of tension that way. About 12 times, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good, gently release. Do you feel any sensation in the scalp? A little bit? Let's do it 2 more times. Get your hands in there. Maybe you go to a slightly different spot. Pull the hair 12 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And release. We're going to go one last time. Wherever you feel the most tension in your head, bring your fingers and gently pull the hair. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And gently release. Let's work on releasing the jaw a little bit. So take your fingers, you're going to bring it to the joint, right in front of the ears. And sometimes the fingertips can actually gently touch the cheekbone, which is at the top there. And all you want to do is give it a nice little massage, rubbing in those little circles. And play with the direction. You can go back to front, front to back, whatever feels good. And you may get into feeling the sinuses a little bit. I mean, it's all connected, right? So let's stay focused on the jaw though. We'll get to the sinuses in a minute. And feel free to now move the fingers down the jawline. However it feels right for you. Little circles if you want to move now into just more straight lines. And bring it all the way down to the chin. It's not necessarily the prettiest, but it's not what this is about. This is more about just getting some release. And you can even bring this behind the jaw. There's a connection back here behind the ear. You can get a little rub back there too. Just take a few more moments. Work out the jaw. Good. So now, I mentioned the sinuses. Let's get into that. So you can take your fingers now and trace along the bridge of the nose, along the cheekbones, and up like you're tracing a big smile or whiskers. And you can do the same thing along the eyebrows, right above the eyebrows. There is something to this facial massage. I know there's people out there who do face yoga. I just like to do that. I don't call this anything. Just call this a nice release for the sinuses. Feel free to alternate. You can give little circles around your forehead as well. It gets the fluid moving. It gets the cobwebs out. Just finish out with a few more big circles, wherever you're feeling the most tension. And then just gently let the hands rest. And feel that sensation through the face. So the last thing that we'll move through is a nice just massage for the neck. Now, I'm not a massage therapist. I'm not pretending to be one. I just know that I do this for myself and it feels good, so I thought I could share it with you. So you're going to take your 3 middle fingers and bring it to the back of your head, right where the skull kind of ends. And you don't want to be behind the ears, and you don't want to be on the erector spinae, which flanks the spine. You want to be in that little divot right between. And give nice little circles to rub the base of your head. Now, if you feel a tight spot here, or you want to alternate and go one hand at a time, get a little bit more movement through the head, feel free to do so. So give some nice circles and experiment to see which direction feels better for you. And maybe they both feel good and you want to go 2 in one direction and 2 in the other, whatever makes you happy. Then from here, start to bring your circles downward so that you're coming a little bit closer to where the neck and the shoulders connect, right near where the collar of your shirt might lay. And give little circles here. And we're going to make them a little bit bigger now and slow down a little bit. So the fingertips are going to circle towards the spine, gently press into the muscle, bring it down a little bit, and then out towards the shoulders. So little baby circles. And as you come around to the front, you're tracing where the collarbone is. So you're coming down and around. Don't actually go into the throat because that's not going to feel nice. Right. Nice little circles here. Good. Let's take that one more time. And let the hands release. We did all that beautiful work with the hands and now we just got them tight again. That's okay. Just give them a nice little gentle stretch. We're going to work on this space just under the collarbone. So take one hand and you're coming into that space in little tiny baby circles. So this is the connection for your pec muscles, the ones that help to contract. And if you're hunched over a lot or you're stressed or you're feeling internal, these muscles are activated a lot. And it helps to massage them out to get them to release. So moving from the shoulder in toward the center. And you don't want to actually go into that little space there. You want to keep the massage happening right underneath the bone. So stay in contact with that. Going a few more times. And when you're ready, switch to the other side. Feel any tight spots in there? I know I sure do. Good. One more time on this side. And from here, let's take a nice little massage down the sternum. So if you feel around in there, you can feel the bumps of the ribs. And then there's the flat bone in the center. We want to go right where the ribs and the sternum, that flat bone, connect. So you can do little circles here. You can just take the center and go up and down. You can do little circles and you can go all the way down to, you don't want to go on the soft part where the ribs or the sternum ends, but you want to stay right above that. And you can do little circles to help massage that out. Again, this is all connection of the pectoralis muscles, or your pecs, if you will. And if it feels good for you, you can work it all the way back up to the collarbone, just to get a little bit of release here. Okay, so once you've finished that, come up to a nice seated position, finding the shoulders stacked over the hips again. Be careful that you're not pressing into that lower back. We're going to take one more nice side bend here. Sitting up nice and tall, take a stretch over, being mindful that the shoulders don't creep up to the ears. And then bring it up through vertical and take another stretch to the side. And bring it up through vertical. Good. Okay, so now we get into the alternate nostril breathing. If you are congested or if you have a runny nose, then you want to have a box of tissues nearby. So go ahead and grab that and then come back and we'll start the breathing. If you've not done this before, you're going to take your peace fingers and bring it up to your third eye. And you'll use the pad of the thumb and the pad of the ring finger to gently close the nostrils. If at any point you don't feel well while doing this, just gently sit and breathe normally with your hands either resting on your thighs or in your lap. Okay. So we're going to take those peace fingers. Let's bring them up to the third eye. We're going to start with the left nostril because this is the cooling side. So we're going to do that to make sure that we are cool, calm, and collected to get us ready for rest. It's about 3 rounds. All right, here we go. Take a nice inhale through both nostrils. As you exhale, you're going to gently close the right. Exhale out of the left. Inhale through the left. Switch your fingers. Exhale out of the right. Inhale through the right. Switch fingers. Exhale out of the left. That's 1 full round. We'll go for about 2 more rounds. Inhaling through the left. Switch fingers. Exhale right. Inhale right. Switch fingers. Exhale left. Last round. Inhale left. Switch fingers, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch fingers, exhale left. Keep your eyes closed, let both hands rest down on your lap. Just take a few breaths here. If you'd like to take a traditional Shavasana, feel free to move into that. Or if you're ready for bed, go ahead and climb into bed and take rest. I'll close it out here so that if you are falling asleep, you can just naturally drift off. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste.